Teenage Izzet Pauper Pingers, Teenage Izzet Pauper Ping, Teenage Izzet Pauper Ping, Wizard the Tap for Damage, Izzet Power. Moin moin, heute geht es leider nicht um Schokolade, sondern um Magic. That's why this video will also be in English oder Denglisch, je nachdem, because I think this deck tech will probably interest some more people than just my German audience, and so beware of my German, English or Deutsches, Denglisch. Je nachdem, I will probably switch a lot between the two languages, and I hope this will be entertaining for both audiences. So today it's about my favorite Pauper deck. Pauper is a Magic format where you only play cheap Magic cards. Yes, there is something like cheap Magic cards because all cards played in Pauper are just commons, and it's commons are bought from all ages of Magic. So it's a very affordable format and a very fun format. Many call it also Vintage Light. And I'm doing a deck tech because I haven't seen a list which is like this one here, and it's, I think, one of the most efficient Pauper Pinger deck lists, so that's why I'm trying this time a deck tech video. Okay, let's get things sorted out. Yes, so this looks a lot better. So I'm gonna talk about what's in the deck, how it works, and where its plot brims. So if you are one of my future opponents, you're not allowed to watch this video, so you're gonna stop here if you ever want to play a Pauper against me. For everybody else, there's also a list on Tapped Out, and the link you will find there down below. So this deck is maybe not tier 1, but I really think it can perform. I think so far as I've seen, it's the most efficient list when it comes to Pauper Pingers. I think it's quite fair. Only Philip thinks differently. As said, Pauper is not really expensive, and this whole deck only costs this much Geld. So you maybe wonder about the name I gave it. I call it 4-color Izzet Stormless Storm Pauper Pingers, because for me it feels like a Storm deck without any Storm cards. The main thing it does is, like with my 2 Pingers, it deals multiple times 1 damage to an opponent, and I can repeat it every time I cast a sorcery or an instant, or in this case also a non-creature spell. And I pair it with a Tandem Lookout. Tandem Lookout has the ability to give through Soulbound like Curiosity. Curiosity was a card, I think, originally from the Weatherlight Saga. So every time a creature deals deals damage to a player, I draw a card. So it's a really nice effect. I play an instance. This one deals damage to an opponent, and I may draw a card. So I can storm myself through dealing 1 damage and drawing cards, and this is a lot of fun for me. It's mostly self-brewed. I haven't seen other lists which work really like this, or as efficient like this list. It's all started with a standard deck, or a try of a standard deck when original Ravnica was came out, and I really wanted to play with the Galactroder, which also deals 1 damage when tapped to any target, and untaps when I play an instant or sorcery. But this card is not Pauper legal at the moment. I hope they will make it one day, but at the moment it can't play with me. So and I really ever loved since 4th edition the archetype of Pingers. So Pingers are creatures with tap for 1 damage, and the OG Pinger was the prodigal, okay, let's say Abtrünniger Zauberer, and he is also nicknamed Tim, and I think that's a reference to Monty Python's Holy Grail, or in German Der Ritter der Kokosnuss. And after rotation, it became a kitchen table deck, where I played the Tandem Lookout, and in 2017, in Ultimate Masters, it became Pauper legal, and so I said, yes, I have to build a Pauper deck. One of the biggest problems with this deck here is that I want to have much more of everything what's in the deck, but there's not enough space. So let's get through the cards. So here I have my pingers. I have the Tandem Lookout for the Curiosity effect, and I also play 2 Ophidian Eyes, which is a creature enchantment with flash, which has the same effect. The problem with creature enchantment is when they kill your creature, you lose like 2 cards. But with flash, you can do a little bit trickery, and only 4 Tandem Lookouts are not enough. So I actually would like to have 1 or 2 more combo enablers, but there is really no space. Every good Izzet deck needs cantrips. I have like 8 cantrips, and I would like to run more, but there is no real space. So of course, Ponder is the best one, and Preordain is also quite good. I have to run Faceless Looting because sometimes you run out of spells, because when you do your Storm thing, when you only draw lands, sometimes you need something you can cast from your graveyard, and so that's why there's also Faceless Looting inside of it. Those cards I mostly need to protect my creatures. They're quite important for the combo, but they're quite easily removed. So I use my Mana Leaks and my Apostle's Blessing mostly to keep my creatures safe, to get to the turn where I can really do my Storm thingy. I don't run Counterspell because casting with 2 blue mana is quite tricky in the deck. Why it's a little bit complicated with the mana base, I will explain later. That's why I use Mana Leak and Apostle's Blessing, which can recast for 1 mana, which is quite good in this deck to protect my creatures. And about Alexi's Cloak, I'm still quite not sure how it will perform. It's nice to have the protection around and not just for an instant, especially on the Tandem Lookout. But be aware that it's a numbo with the Ophidian Eye, but it works with Soulbound because Soulbound doesn't target. And last, I have a removal package because this deck can't wait to just combo out. You need to handle the biggest threats of the opponent deck, and that's why I run Lightning Bolt. I really like Snap, since it's mana-wise a free spell, and combined with the Izzet Bulwarkers, it also can give me an extra mana, and even sometimes when I have 2 Izzet Bulwarks, like 2 extra mana, and this keeps the Storm going on. Lava Dart is mostly in here because I can recast it for free from the graveyard, because sometimes you're tapped out and only need like 2 extra damage to kill the opponent or to draw the next card you really need, and sacrificing a mountain is not that bad. Also, with the new Volatile Fort or Instability Fort, which also counts as a mountain, you have like 2 more mountains in the deck to sacrifice to. I really like Fire and Ice because of flexibility. Often it's like a 2 for 1, or it draws an extra card. But there is not really enough space for more of it. With the removal package or the counterspell package, you maybe have to adjust it to your local meta. I only run like 20 lands because with all the cantrips and the card draw later, I don't want to be mana flooded. This really can stop your Storm. I run 3 Izzet Bulwarks because it's a very good combination with the Snap, as earlier explained. The Volatile Fjord is a very good combo with the Lava Dart. Ash Barrens is also a little bit fixing, and you see this is not so flexible because with the deck you don't have time for many tap lands, so there is no Evolving Wilds, and that's also why I don't run Brainstorm, because I don't have enough shuffle effects to get rid of those 2 extra cards I don't need. So the sideboard is quite usual for an Izzet deck. Of course, you run Pyroknalls and Hydroknalls against the Izzet Mirror. I really hated Izzet Mirror, so I'm already thinking about running maybe 4 Pyroknalls, 4 Red Elemental Blast, 4 Hydroblast, and 3 Red Elemental Blasts, just to have an upper hand against other control Izzet decks. I really prefer the Pyroknall over the red elemental blast, because you can cast the spell even if it's not color matched. With the red elemental blast, it checks at the target that it's blue, but here it will still resolve, but will have no effect if it's not blue. And of course, some Graveyard Hate. You can also run Fiery Cannonade over Electrickery, but having a 3 CMC spell is a little bit tricky in this deck. About Aching Truth, I'm not sure. Sometimes it really does wonders. Shenanigans is, of course, against Tron decks or other decks which run a lot of pesky artifacts, and Sigil of Sleep can be so good in this deck. I also tried it running mainboard, but sometimes if the opponent doesn't have too much creatures, it's not really worth it. So, what do you think of my 4-color Izzet Stormless Storm Pauper Pingers deck? I don't think that this is its final form, so I'm open for any suggestions or any ideas how to improve it. You can write it down in the description or on Tapped Out. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and if I have entertained you, you could leave a like or a small Abo. Und ich hoffe, mein Englisch war nicht allzu schlimm. Also, ciao! So then, I tap for 1 damage at you. I draw 2 cards. Then I play a snap on your last blocker. So this one untaps, you get 1 damage. This resolves, bounce the creature, untap those 2 lands. Deal another 1 damage, not another 2 cards. Play a Metamorphosis, so get 1 damage and tap this. I have blue red floating and draw a card for Metamorphosis. I deal another 1 damage to you, I draw 2 cards. And I flashback Lava Dot, you get 1 damage, and this one taps, I tap another damage, get another 2 cards.